Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Or if we haven't met, welcome. I am Rachel. You ever have one of those moments where something just clicks? Like you hear the right words at exactly the right time and suddenly everything shifts? It's rare, but when it happens, it really does stick with you. That's what happened to me back in 2017. I was exhausted, frustrated, in pain, and kind of at a loss. But one random YouTube video changed everything. And funny enough, years later, it is still a video I go back to whenever I need motivation. Let me tell you why. Before I get into it, if you like videos about resilience, mindset shifts, and staying healthy, hit that subscribe button down below. It would help me out a lot, and I would love to have you here. We're slowly building kind of an awesome little community. Okay, back to March of 2017. I was recovering from a bilateral mastectomy, sitting in that recliner right over there, uncomfortable, feeling pathetic, beat up, and honestly, wallowing in a little bit of self-pity. I felt like my chest had been scraped out with a spoon. I had drains hanging by safety pins on my wraps. The future of my treatment was a big question mark, and I had just made a bunch of really bad movie choices on Netflix that somehow made me feel even worse. I had no motivation whatsoever. Out of sheer boredom, or maybe desperation, I opened YouTube. The first video suggested was a commencement speech from some guy that I had never heard of. And I thought, what the hell? Why not? It sounds ridiculous, but that video, just a random speech on YouTube, completely changed my attitude. I hadn't gone looking for it. It wasn't trending. Nobody sent it to me, but somehow it found me exactly when I needed it. The speech was given by Admiral William McRaven at the University of Texas in 2014. I kid you not, it brought me to tears in that recliner. Not because it was sad, but because it was exactly what I needed at that moment. It felt like the universe had put it in front of me. I mean, yeah, okay, I was on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster at the time, but his words were simple, direct, and kind of no nonsense. Just solid, practical advice, all wrapped up in a military uniform. Since that day, I have listened to that speech dozens of times. It is my go-to when I feel stuck, overwhelmed, or just in need of a mental reset. And I'm not the only one. His speech has over 19 million views on just one channel. If you've seen it, you know why. If you haven't seen it, you need to. Yep, this video is all about telling you to go to another channel and watch another video. Why? Because, well, the world feels heavy to a lot of people right now. People are anxious, they're angry, they're scared, and they are often in need of kindness when there is a lot of unkindness going around. Just yesterday at the grocery store, the cashier was telling me how she appreciated my kindness because so many customers had become increasingly rude, talking down to her, lashing out at her about prices, and venting their misplaced frustrations. She said some people do go out of their way to be extra kind, but they seem to be getting drowned out. Funny enough, before walking into that store and while I was shopping, I had been listening to Admiral McRaven's speech because, well, it's been quite a week and I needed some motivation myself. I know I talk a lot about stress on this channel because looking back, both my cancer diagnoses happened during or right after some incredibly stressful periods in my life. I brushed it off and pushed through like we all do, but stress was affecting me more than I realized, and its effects are really profound. I know I am not alone in that. Now listen, I am not going to go into all the stress, anxiety, and frustration that so many people are feeling right now, because that is not what this channel is about. But trust me, I get it. I see it and I feel it too. What I can do is share what helps me stay focused and sane and not let stress take over. And this speech, among other things, is one of the big things that helps me. Admiral McRaven is a former Navy SEAL who served on SEAL Teams 3 and 6. He was the 9th commander of U.S. Special Operations Command, and he's now a retired 4-star admiral. If you watch him in this or anything else, he comes across as a genuinely kind, caring, and very principled man. Qualities that, if you do any research on him, are echoed by those who served under him and those who know him well. I have watched countless motivational videos, and his are the ones I always go back to. He begins by talking about how we all have the power to change lives. And if each person changes the lives of 10 people, and those 10 people change the lives of 10 more people, the ripple effect across generations is astronomical. This kind of hit me hard because, growing up, my dad would always say, God bless Harry Truman. My dad was a Marine in World War II, training for Operation Downfall, the planned invasion of Japan, which was expected to result in up to 1 million American casualties. He was supposed to be part of the first wave of the invasion, and he would tell me growing up that he was scared shitless, and he had absolutely no expectation of coming home. The atomic bombs, despite their horror, likely saved his life. Without that, I probably wouldn't be here. Neither would my siblings, my children, my nieces and nephews, and my great-nieces and nephews. Now, I am not here to debate how horrible the bombs were. I know the countless lives that were lost and the futures that were altered in Japan. I am just stating facts. The ripple effect is very, very real. Admiral McCraven goes on to share 10 life lessons he took from his SEAL training that he says can apply to everyone, military or not. What I am giving you is an incredibly simplified summary of his points. I really, really want you to watch the speech and get the full benefit of it yourself. He talks about making your bed every day. And I remember thinking, really? This is life-changing advice? Making my bed? It seemed a little ridiculous in its simplicity, but as he explained, it's not about the bed. It's about starting the day with a completed task to motivate you to complete another task and another. That tiny act builds momentum. It creates a mindset of accomplishment. And on bad days, when you've maybe accomplished absolutely nothing else, at least you come home to a made bed. It's the little things that matter. If you can't do the little things right, you will never do the big things right. He talks about finding someone to help you paddle. You'll get it when you watch the video because we can't accomplish great things alone. It takes effort from everyone. We all need support, and things work better when we work together. He says stature does not make a man, or a woman for that matter. Measure people by the size of their heart. He pointed out that in his training, the best performers weren't always the biggest or the strongest, but the ones with the most determination and heart. Everyone, even the smallest among us, deserves respect. Sometimes the strongest and most powerful people are far less worthy of our respect than the least among us, who are often the kindest and the hardest workers. He points out that life isn't fair, and you will fail often. Every single one of us does, but failure is not the end. It's a lesson. We are designed to fail sometimes, and we need to take that lesson, learn from it, and adapt, and keep moving forward. The Admiral stresses that we need to embrace the circus. The circus that he refers to was an extra physical punishment for candidates who underperformed. And his point is that everyone underperforms at some point. Everyone. The lesson is life is going to test us. It will try to break us. It will cause us pain, and it will discourage us, all of us. But tough times make us stronger if we let them. Those circuses build inner strength and resilience. Believe it and embrace them. Trust me, I have learned this firsthand. He stresses that we need to dive headfirst into obstacles and face our challenges boldly. Sometimes we need to think outside the box. You cannot expect to change the world if you just accept the status quo all the time. Sometimes unconventional approaches and choosing a path less followed is what it takes to make a change. Do not be afraid to do that. He talks about how in SEAL training, candidates had to swim in shark-infested waters and show no fear. And they were told that if a shark approaches you, make a fist and smack it in the nose and it will swim away. That's true in real life. Let's call the sharks bullies, whether they're in school, at work, online, wherever. They thrive on fear. The best way to handle them? Stand your ground. Show no fear and don't give in. Now, I'm not telling you to punch them in the face, don't get me wrong, but bullies get their strength through distraction and our willingness to concede. Do not do it. Stand up to them, They are not expecting that. He stresses that in your darkest moments is when you need to be your best. Don't panic, don't give up. Find your inner strength and push forward. I swear to you, you have got it in you, and giving up is going to get you nowhere. When life gets tough, that is when your true strength is going to shine through. Trust me here. He is absolutely right. Then he goes on to tell the students to never give up and to give people hope. His example was that one person's courage or strength could inspire an entire team. Hope is an incredibly powerful and contagious thing. A single person has the power to change the world just by giving us hope. When you're up to your neck in shit, my word, not his, show people how to act, be that voice in the dark for people. And lastly, he talks about a bell. In SEAL training, ringing the bell means quitting. And he stresses never, ever, ever ring the bell, no matter how hard it gets. Again, my summary does not do this speech justice at all. I really hope that the class who had the privilege of hearing this speech firsthand appreciated it and took it to heart. I don't know about you, but I, for the life of me, cannot remember who did my graduation commencement speech, let alone what they said. These were some powerful words, and they didn't just motivate me for the day. They really helped to shape the purpose of this channel and everything I share, from mindset shifts to health. It all ties back to what I have learned about resilience. And if something that I share helps even one person, that is plenty for me. I have absolutely no expectations that my channel will ever create any kind of a ripple effect. I would never presume that. But I just wanted to share what motivated me to change my outlook, share my research, and get through my own struggles. I honestly doubt that Admiral McRaven even realized when he was making that speech what a ripple effect it would actually have. The world really needs more people like him, people who inspire, who lead with integrity, and remind us that we are resilient. Be the good person. Stand up for the little guy. Help someone who's lost. If you feel lost, scared, angry, overwhelmed, whatever, please watch the Admiral's speech. If you've already seen it, go watch it again. If you're all good, but you know someone who's not, share it with them. I will link it below, and I hope it motivates you like it does me. And I hope it reminds you, like it did me, that you are much, much stronger than you think. Kind of funny, when I was making notes on what I wanted to say for this video, I realized that he ends his speech with "hook 'em horns," which is the exact same gesture I use at the end of every video. Granted, I mean rock on when I do it, but it makes me wonder if subconsciously it maybe came from this video without realizing it. Go figure. Anyway, if you've ever come across another speech, a book, or a random video that completely shifted your perspective, I would love to hear about it, so drop it in the comments. As always, it was really nice chatting with you today. Thank you for watching. Take care of you, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.